Hello everybody, in this video I will be attempting to do task 3.2 of the pre-release material 9608/22 paper 2 region 2. I will do task 3.2 right now. You will need to have Visual Basic installed. If you do not have Visual Basic installed on your Windows or Mac, I have tutorials on how to install Visual Basic. The things we need, please look at my videos and follow the tutorials. I'm going to attempt to do task 3.2 right now, and enjoy. So open Visual Basic. Okay, so I'll jump to task 3.2 right in there. There's the link in the description for the pre-release material. Please print it out and have it beside you. I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to full screen Visual Basic. Okay, so this is task 3.2. It says write program code to output the file contents as 2 columns, each with an appropriate heading. Okay, so this is a tricky one. It says there is a file, okay? A file exists and it has member data, member name, and this and that. And it's asking you to take contents from the file, just the member name, and write output contents as 2 columns. Okay, so the member name and in front of that the member ID, something I'll just show you. So it's saying okay, so this is member name, this is 1 column, and this is member ID, this is 2 columns. All of the member names will come over here, and right in front of it will the member IDs will. Okay, so this is essentially what they want. Okay, so to do this, in task 3.1 I introduced a function openMode.append. In this we're gonna start a new project. In this, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just going to change the openMode.append to openMode.input. Okay, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to change this to 125. Okay, and now I'm going to say file open. Which file? First file, of course, and I'm gonna open the double quotations and I'm gonna do this because this is where my file is stored. Mind you, in the examinations we won't have to define a location. This is just for our understanding. / and club data. That was the name of my file. I'll show you. It's right here. Clubdata.txt. txt doesn't show, but it's there. It's a text file. And then I'm gonna close my double quotations because that's where. Then I'm gonna enter a comma and I'm gonna say open mode.input. Okay, because I'll be taking the file contents as inputs and then I'm gonna output them. Okay, this is what we need to do to extract things from a file and to make them and to print them onto the console. We need to use this command openMode.input. Okay, that's what we need to do. So the file has been opened to this position, and now we need to make 2 columns. So we're gonna say console.writeLine I'm gonna say this is where I'll be making my heading. So I'll make the first heading as member, member, member name. Okay. Then I'm gonna, this is member name, and I'm gonna space, how many spaces? I'm gonna add 25 spaces. Okay, so what this command basically does is it throws in 25 spaces. Space is this thing right there. It throws 25 spaces in between member name and member ID. So in between member name and member ID, I will have 20 spaces. Okay, so 25 spaces. That's with space and then the number of spaces. Okay, that's what that means. Member name plus space 25 plus member ID. So essentially, I'll show you this. Wait a second. Console.read key, I've explained this in previous videos. It means it just waits for the program to enter a key and then it'll go to the next line. Okay, see, I made 2 columns. These are my 2 columns and there is 25 spaces between these 2 columns. Okay, now I'm gonna say, I'm gonna have to print member names between the member name and member ID. I'm gonna have to print member names under this heading member name and member IDs under member ID. Okay, so I'm gonna say, first I'm gonna take input from the file. So I'm gonna say okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to say I'm going to take an input from the file and I'm going to say input from what file, 1, because that's the integer value I assigned over here. And what do I have to input? Member name. Okay, member name isn't declared. Okay, look, I'm gonna take this file, open this file. I've opened this file. Okay, and input 1 comma member name. What this means is it's gonna take David and it's gonna store it in member name. So I have to do this as well because I have to do 1 comma member ID. Okay, that's what I've done. This is what we have to do because it's gonna take member name and then it's gonna take member ID and then it's gonna jump to the next file. Okay, and the next line of file. Okay, so this is what's happening over here. We have to declare name as string and then we'll declare member ID as string, then we'll initialize it, so we're going to say member name is equals to an empty string, member ID is equals to an empty string. Okay, now we're done with the initializations. We're going to close this and we're going to enlarge this and then we're going to say okay, so let's try out our program now. Okay, you'll see a little problem in our program and then I'll tell you the solution. Okay, it should have entered the member IDs and the names under that. I'm sorry, we did not I did not print the stored member name and member IDs. So I'm gonna say, okay, I'm sorry for that. I'm gonna say console dot write line, because I want to write to the console. And what do I have to write? First, I'll write member name, because member name comes first. Then after 20 spaces, I'll have to enter the member ID. Okay, so this is what I forgot to do. Okay, once you've done this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna play the program, and then you'll see one problem with the program. Can you see David is not in line with where the member ID is? So to achieve this, we said that after member name we're gonna leave 20 spaces, okay? But David is shorter than member name, so and I did something else wrong. I should have typed here 25. That still won't make a difference because David is shorter than member name. So we have left 25 spaces over here, but we're gonna need more spaces over here to account for the fact that David is shorter than member name. So to get David to be perfectly in line with member ID, what we have to do, we have to find the number of spaces that are less, the number of characters that are less in David, and then we have to add that into the number of spaces. Okay, I'll show you what I said right now. Okay, I'm gonna show you. Okay, so I also forgot one more thing. It's good that we're doing it this way. Did you see that it only printed out David and DAV123? Okay, to fix that we have to say, well, okay, do this till it's not the end of the file. Right now it's just picking the first one and the second one, and then it's okay, I'm done with my job, that's it, the program is done. But the file hasn't ended. What if there were 100,000 member IDs and member names below this? So we're gonna learn a new command over here that's called while not EOF, and which file 1. So we're gonna do this, and we're gonna place this end while after console.writeLine. Okay, now you'll see we'll have all of the members and their restricted member IDs. Can you see there is a subtle difference there's a curve? So to fix this curve, okay, so Ginger needs to have less spaces than John, and David needs to have less spaces than John. So what we need to do is we need to I'll show you what we need to do. Okay, so what I thought about this, I said, okay, let's create two variables. Okay, let's create two variables, an initial length, then I length as integer. Okay, we're gonna declare it as an integer, and we're gonna declare another final length as. Okay, now we're going to initialize them. I'm gonna say I length is equals to 0, because that's how you initialize an integer value, then flen is equals to 0. I initialized two new variables that are integers, not strings, for the first time. Okay, now I'm gonna say say the first line of the file had David and his member ID is DAV123. Okay, so can you see that member name, this entire thing, how many characters is it? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It is 11 characters long. Okay, so what we need to do here is we're gonna say, okay, so the final length is equals to 11 minus the initial length, I length. Okay, final minus the subtracted by the initial length. Okay, so that's what I've done. So in the case of David, if I subtract 11 from DAVID, 11 from 5, what do I get? I get 6. And that's the number of extra spaces that I need to accommodate for the left out blank spaces. Okay, so final length, this final length, say I get 5. Okay, 5 is the number of spaces I need to add. So over here in between, I'm gonna say, okay, you can add 5 spaces, but this will only be for David. We calculated the final length, so we're gonna replace this with f length. And if you check this program out right now, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. Everything will be in order. It's not. What did I do wrong? Final length minus initial length, and we're gonna say length is equals to I made a mistake over here. This, I need to add another I need to add another line right here, and that's gonna fix everything. I have to add I have to add the value of initial length. Okay, so I'm gonna say I length is equals to length of member name. Okay, so what happened is, if in the case of David the length is 5, so initial length will be 5. So if I subtract 11 from 5, it's gonna give me 6, and 6 is the extra number of spaces that I need to add over here. So now you'll be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so this is what I was intending to make, and I screwed up. I'm sorry for that. Joke's on me. I'll explain it again. Okay, look. If I just remove this for now, we're going to come up with the same program. We're going to come up with the same error that we were facing last time. So I'm going to remove this right now. I'm going to cut it. Okay, now I'm going to run the program. See, I'll show you. Right now, David is missing 5 spaces because between member name is 11 characters and then it has 25 spaces. David is just 5 characters and then it has 25 spaces. So how can it come right here? it needs to account for those extra spaces in between, and so does John. But John needs to have different number of spaces. It needs to have 7 extra number of spaces, and Ginger has to have just 5 more number of spaces. So to get this, we're going to take the length. We're going to take the length of the name. Okay, so in David's case, it's 5. And then we're going to subtract it from 11. Okay, and then we'll get the extra number of spaces required to make it into a whole, to make it come right beneath member ID. Okay, Control C, and then I'll run the program, and it works flawlessly. Okay, so this is the program. This is task 3.2. I hope you understood. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for task 3.3.